It's one thing I'm not frightened of, but we're supposed to sign in. If you go over there, you sign your name down and put a phone number, just to keep us half legal. But use your common sense. So I'd like to welcome everyone. It's important for us to remember those that have served us and have given us a chance just to stay free and do what we really want to, because this is a wonderful country and we should never forget it. So, today is the 106th anniversary of ANZAC landings at Gallipoli in 1915. We remember those who have served and those who have died to ensure that we can all live our lives in peace and freedom the way we want to. Australians and New Zealanders have always put their hands up to stand and fight for what is right and what is just. We also remember those Indigenous Australians who joined up and served their country in armed conflicts. We will forever be in the debt of those who are celebrated and remembered on ANZAC Day. The dawn service reminds us of the early dawn landing from the sea on the Gallipoli Peninsula in order to invade Ottoman Empire and knock Turkey out of the Great Wall. Also, it is like the military stand-to in the morning mist at first light before the day's hostilities begin. Now I'll ask Past President Keith Byers to read our ANZAC Requiem. Thank you, Keith.
The ANZAC Requiem. On this day above all days, we recall those who served in the wars and those who did not return to receive the grateful thanks of the nation. We remember those who still sleep where they fell, amid the holly scrub and the valleys on the ridges of Gallipoli, on the rocky and terraced hills of Palestine, and amongst the mud and chaos of the Western Front in France and Flanders. We remember those who lay buried in the lovely war cemeteries of France, where grateful local people have never forgotten what Australian soldiers did for them, and also at Gallipoli, where our former opponents have embraced our fallen sons as their sons also. We remember those who lay asleep on the ground beneath the shimmering haze of Libya, at Bardia, Derna, Tobruk, and amidst the mountain passes and olive groves of Greece, both on the mainland and on the island of Crete, and of the rugged snow-capped hills of Lebanon and Syria. We remember those who lay buried in the rank jungle of Malaya, Burma, New Guinea, and on the distant islands of the Pacific. We remember those who lay buried in the British Isles and in our far north. We shall be mindful of those brave men and women who left our shores and died in Korea, in Malaysia, in Vietnam, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, helping to safeguard the Commonwealth and other free countries against the on-march of enemies thrusting to obtain new bases from which they may attack and destroy the freedom that two world wars cost the lives of 100,000 Australian men and women to achieve and to preserve. We remember those who lay in unknown graves in many lands and those whose graves are the unending sea. Especially do we remember those who died as prisoners of war, far from their homeland and the comforting presence of their friends and family. We remember those of our women's services who gave their lives in our land and in foreign lands, and at sea, those who proved to be the sisters of our fighting men. We remember too our staunch friends from New Zealand who fought beside our soldiers on that first ANZAC day and who contributed to the name ANZAC. We remember all those who gave their lives in the British Army, the Royal Navy, the Royal Air Force and other British and Dominion forces. May all these rest peacefully after their achievements, and may we and our successors in the heritage left to us